Hi and a very warm welcome. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a wellbeing specialist and executive coach. And one of the areas that seems to preoccupy an awful lot of people today is the fact that they don't have a sense of happiness or fulfillment. Are you like that? Can you relate to that kind of feeling? And part of our work is to try and discover what is getting in the way of a deeper sense of happiness and well-being. This isn't some artificial, cartoonish impression of happiness. What we're looking for is a very deep and natural expression of the human condition, because we know that that deeper state of happiness is highly conducive to a profound sense of health, well-being, productivity, success, and it has a massive impact on the quality of our relationships, not just with colleagues, but also the closer, more personal connections we enjoy with our loved ones. Now, I wanted to start this brief conversation by reminding ourselves that most of our behavior, what we think and what we feel, is based on deep-seated conditioning. It's tucked away in the depths of the subconscious, and we receive those imprints during our early, impressionable childhood years. And then they get locked away, operating largely invisibly. And this is intriguing because nearly everything, and we're talking 95 to 99% of what we think and feel and do, is based on those motivators, on those drives that are buried and hidden deep in the unconscious. The good news is that despite the long-term effect of that kind of conditioning, it's not forever. It isn't fixed. We can change it. We can adjust it. We can make sometimes very slight modifications to that early programming and create dramatic changes in how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. How do we find out what we need to do? Well, it's very easy to attribute our problems to our external circumstances. That's how most of us respond. It's due to work conditions, to being surrounded by difficult people, being with a partner or a spouse who's difficult, people who don't understand us. Yeah, you know, the list is endless. But a lot of these issues are more subtle because they are a reflection of how we think and feel and behave according to that deep internal programming. And as I said, these are largely influences that we're unaware of. We just run the program fairly blindly. But there are lots of clues, and the clues tend to show up in the quality of our lives and how we think and feel and behave. So the starting point for any progress we might want to make towards a happier, healthier, and may I say a more fulfilling kind of life is to make a list. It's best with a sheet of paper and a pen or pencil of those areas that are not working for you. Now, it's a private list. It's not something that you should discuss or share with anybody else. It's just you and how you are thinking and feeling and reacting. And it's a really interesting way of approaching this particular subject, because if you find a little bit of time to write down the areas that aren't working for you, most of us will come up with 5 or 6 items. But if you take it a little bit further, you might discover other areas that you've just forgotten about or you just ignore. And they may be the most significant ones of all. It doesn't matter what it is. Just take a few minutes, sit quietly, preferably on your own, and prepare a little list of things that are not working. These are clues about the way we're interacting with the world. You could almost say these are clues about the way we're interacting with that internal programming. And if life really does have a measure of importance, then surely we need to be doing whatever we can to make it as fulfilling as possible. And if we begin, not by changing the world necessarily, though the world needs an awful lot of help, but we can begin with the internal landscape that's driving our perception, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. That's a great place to start. If you need any help with it, just drop me a line. If you've got any suggestions or comments, just email me. My address is in the description. But in the meantime, see what areas you come up with, and then perhaps we can see how you can resolve those issues. In the meantime, I look forward very much to being back with you again tomorrow, and I'm wishing you a wonderful day.